morning, Liz. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Got our coffee,
Got our coffee going.
careers and coffee,
Gotta do it.
Friday
Gotta,
edition.
gotta have the coffee when we're talking about careers.
Yeah.
Um,
And let me say, our market is highly caffeinated when it comes to jobs right now.
highly caffeinated and more than enough job openings right now. What's going on Corridor Careers?
Oh my gosh, we have so many jobs and so much variety of jobs. If you have been curious about, if you're currently happy in your, well, let's say you're currently unhappy in your current job. There are so many jobs right now in Corridor Careers and just in our market as in general that you could probably find something in your career path right now and, have something to compare it to. A lot of times you might be working in a role where you think, well, there's no other jobs like this, so this is a good place for me to be. But if you're ever interested in looking out, I'm not saying we want people to leave jobs that they're happy in. Just a lot of opportunity out there, and that's what we're going to talk about today: opportunity.
We're going to talk about opportunity, and just to follow up on that, 455 current active jobs as of right now on Corridor Careers. But let's talk about opportunity, and let's talk about we were kind of getting back to before we started this Careers and Coffee episode, talking about our one thing, our superpower in the workforce, or just in life. So Liz, if I asked you, what was the one thing that you think that you're hands down better at, or what have people maybe mentioned to you in the past that, hey, wow, you're really good at this?
So I would go with, what do I feel most confident in versus that? Because I'm really not comfortable with people giving me praise or hearing about myself from other people. And that's just my own issue. But I feel most confident in my curiosity. And I would say curiosity is my superpower. I'm very curious about why things work, how things work. When I dig into things, that's when I find things through my just analysis skills, and I learn things I love to learn. And curiosity is what drives all of that. I'm just inherently curious. I'm like a cat. So that is probably my superpower. And I know it is a soft skill that many recruiters and employers are looking for, someone who's curious, because they know someone who's curious is going to notice when things go south, or they're going to notice opportunities. But I'm just kind of teasing what you think your superpower is, Dan. So what would you say your skill superpower is?
My skill superpower. So I've been told in the past that I'm really good at maybe finding gaps or opportunities, whether that is, maybe or problems, right? So in business and in work, like maybe that's an opportunity to grow revenue, or find an opportunity to save money, right? So as far as business goes, like every company's in business to try to make money and provide jobs and to serve people, right? So as far as in the workforce, that's at least what I've been told by some friends or mentors, like, hey, wow, I never thought of that. That would be a really good way to maybe add to the bottom line, or increase sales. So I think I've always been kind of a problem solver, and maybe that's my greatest strength and my biggest weakness too, that I see problems maybe too frequently. But going back to you. So that curiosity is very interesting. And I would completely agree with what you said, because when I see you work, you are always really good at getting into like maybe a CMS, like a content management system, or a brand new platform, and you just had the whole thing figured out before, it seems like in minutes, like where it probably would take other people like myself, weeks or months to figure out. So.
Well, thanks, Dan. You're making me feel real uncomfortable right now.
That's what we do. We have
Well,
real
here's
conversations
an
here.
example. Here's an example. I think just had, we've talked about this in the past on other podcasts. We both had tons of jobs. And I was thinking about restaurants and why I was working on a blog post of why restaurant work should be on everyone's resume. And one of the ways I used my curiosity in the past was I was working at a cafe that also had a bakery attached to it. And I noticed that the lemon bars looked off. And I'm like, these lemon bars do not look like yesterday's lemon bars. And so I brought it to the attention of a manager who called over the pastry chef, and he's like, oh yeah, those lemon bars are not right. And through that, I ended up transitioning over to the pastry department because I noticed something that was critical to their quality, like making sure that their quality was always the same, because they really relied on their reputation as providing like amazing desserts. And if somebody would come in and they'd have a crappy lemon bar, they would tell everyone they had a terrible lemon bar and they wouldn't go there and order it anymore. And so those are the types of things that you can do with those kind of like inherent skills that really they're not something I don't put curiosity. I mean, I might put curiosity on my resume in just like something about me, but it's not like a skill that you put in the skill set at the top of your resume. And so you have to learn how to talk about some of those soft skills when you're interviewing to let the recruiter know, hey, this is something about me you should know, and this is why you should maybe consider me, and this is what I could bring to the table. But if you don't know that about yourself, it's hard for you to tell that story.
Yeah, I love that. And I mean, just the fact that you saw the issue and brought it up. I think there's a lot of people that maybe in it depends on your work environment or your boss and management too. Like you might not be comfortable bringing that up. But having the confidence and everything and curiosity to go and bring that up, and they moved you over. They really liked that about you. Just the fact that you stepped up and said something. So I think that's something that a lot of people can probably resonate with, that they've maybe seen an issue at work in the past or something, and sometimes you say something and sometimes you don't. But I think that's a really good trait that you have.
I guess it's kind of the difference between that passive worker and someone who's empowered, as kind of like got that ownership mindset of like, hey, this may not be my job, but I'm noticing that something about this could be improved, or there might be an opportunity here. And heck, like if they listen to you, Dan, you're like, hey, you could actually be making some revenue on this. Then that's obviously going to reflect well on you if they do take that action, or if they don't take the action. Even if they don't take the action to solve the problem, they realize that you have brought it up and you're paying attention. And that's kind of what they're looking for when they talk about employee engagement. It's a kind of a buzzword in, when employers are talking about how can we improve our culture and employee engagement. What does engagement mean? It just means somebody who actually cares enough to say something when they see something.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So a couple things, right? So take action. I love that. You just mentioned that. Definitely don't be afraid to take action and find out what your superpower is. Like what's your one thing that people are always praising you for? Don't be afraid to go after that and use that in the workplace.
Yeah, if you're looking for more ways to how to figure out what that one thing is about yourself, Dan's going to put in the show notes a link to a book that he read about this. And what was it? It's called The One Thing.
It's called The One Thing by Gary Keller, who was a founder of Keller Williams Real Estate, actually.
Okay.
So big brand, but yeah, really good book. So check that out.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for today, but we'll be back next week with another Careers and Coffee.
Thanks, Liz.